What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Bros Cast, episode 240. My name is Harrison, and I am joined by my brother Nick. As always, Nick, how are you doing, buddy?
What's up? What's up? Hello from the beautiful state of Florida.
Yeah, the Sunshine State.
Sunshine State. Doing good. Doing good.
Well, this week we're going to talk about mainly the Game Award nominees. It's always a big deal. Always controversy. People upset that their favorite game didn't get nominated, or maybe it did. So we're going to talk about all that stuff and give our predictions and maybe what we want to win versus what we think will win. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But before we dive into what you've been playing, Nick, how was your week?
Week was good. Drove down here on Saturday, about a 12-hour trip with a few stops at the various Buc-ee's.
Of course.
Gas stations on the way. You know, it's a great stop. You know, you can take the dog out, walk her in the designated dog area.
That's nice.
And then
I've still never been to a Buc-ee's before.
Oh, dude, you got to go. Their food is good.
Did you get some brisket on the slab or whatever they say?
No, I don't love their brisket, but
What's
I
wrong
did
with the
get
brisket?
their. It's like kind of like too. It's almost like too water. Like it's too watery and too sweet.
Oh, okay. So it's like super
too drippy. Yeah, it's not a good. It's not a good car food.
Yeah.
That being said, I do like their burritos, breakfast biscuits.
Okay.
And the breakfast burritos are good too. So
okay,
they've got some good stuff, just not the stuff that like they heavily advertise, like the brisket and the.
I don't think I could dog some brisket in the car.
Oh man, that's a dangerous game.
Yeah, that's a danger zone right there.
But yeah, it's been good. It's been good being down here, being in the sunshine a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's been nice.
It's been super, not super cold here, but it's just very overcasty. I mean, it looks like it wants to snow, but obviously it's not going to. But it looks like how it looks right before it snows. So, but yeah, it's been a good week. Looking forward to this weekend. We're going to go see the Panthers and the Chiefs game in Charlotte. So looking forward to that. We got sweet tickets, so it's going to be super nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So we're
I don't know. It's plan. I'm gonna get a We're on the Panthers side, so I mean, but we'll have a straight shot at her if she's on the Chiefs side. So I'm gonna get a pair of binoculars just in case.
That's right. Nice.
Brain knows. So we're going to go. We're going to drive up on Saturday, and we went ahead and got hotel for 2 nights. We're staying at the same hotel we did last time. We really like that one.
Nice.
So that way we'll do a little tailgating, you know.
Dude, do a little tailgating. You're gonna
do a little tailgating. Get toasted and watch the game. Yeah,
that's good. Man, that sounds great.
Yeah, because the game's over at 4, but I was like, I'm not trying to get like a little bit toasted and then obviously make that move back all the way home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I got like 2 days to. I've already put in all my time off requests for the holidays, so I've got 2 extra days to kind of burn through. So I was like, I'll just take Monday off. So
yeah,
looking forward to that.
Nice.
So, pretty excited about that. As soon as I'm a Panthers fan, but obviously, you know, we always suck. But we're going on a little bit of a run here, and I was hoping that the Chiefs are going to be undefeated going into the weekend. And I was like, the Panthers have to do the funniest thing ever and win. But I went ahead and went on the NFL website and got me a hoodie. It was on sale for like $35, so that came in already. So I'm ready to go.
I'm sure all their merch is heavily discounted right now.
Well, so Bryce Young is the quarterback. Whenever after like the second or third game after they lost and they benched him, and put in Andy Dalton on their website, you could, if you bought a Bryce Young jersey, there's like a little stipulation tag or whatever it says. If a player leaves the organization or gets traded within a certain amount of time, you can trade in the jersey for something else. So they have that on there for a little bit, and then they took it off. But that was a little funny.
Is that kind of like an insider thing of like how you can tell if someone's about to get traded if they put that stipulation on the website?
Maybe. Maybe because it was. I mean, it was like the third week or something, and then I was like, man, that's brutal. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
I've never been a sorry to talk football, but I've never been a big fan of like drafting a quarterback and then immediately throwing them into the game without kind of sitting for like a year or two just to kind of learn like how the NFL works and stuff like that. Like and it happens every single season. There's so many number one picks that pick a quarterback and they immediately toss them into the fire. Like, you're never one player away, you know. You're just not. I mean, look at the Jets. They thought they were one player away and are still ass. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's a 40-year-old guy. I mean, he's
an old guy. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be. He's not as good as Tom Brady is in his 40s. So
no,
they're that organization is a dumpster fire. But anyways, yeah, looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll talk about that on next Monday. But Nick, let's dive into what we've been playing.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Obviously I've been playing still a ton of Pokemon TCGP.
Same here.
It's a lot of fun. I think I'm starting to slow down a little bit because I hit level 45 on the event multiplayer. I hit that, and I think that's where it caps. You can still play under the event, but it caps off.
Level 45.
Well, no, I'm sorry. 45 wins. I hit 45 wins.
I
think I'm like level 21 maybe. Hit 45 wins in that, and I've still been playing occasionally. And then I went to the single player because that's where you can really get a lot of pack timer things to lower the time. But yeah, it's still been a lot of fun. I think I'm like maybe 40 cards away for completing the set at this point, so I'm relatively close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Trying to hit that God pack. I told Kellen about the God pack you can get.
I want it so bad.
So we've been like crossing our fingers every time I open up a pack, but he's still enjoying it. But
I have a timer. Oh,
just went off.
Let's open a pack.
Let's do a pack live. Two streams in a row.
All right, I really want Moltres X. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
So I want to build out a good fire deck.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's do it. Crispy slice.
Stormy. Who's that?
Slowbro. Dang.
A dud. That's
a dud.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kellen, I'm to the point where now where like I don't really get a ton of new cards each time, so every time it's like a dud pack, Kellen's like, ah, he's like, my magic is dying.
It's like, no, like, it's the game. It's the game.
But we did I did open up. I did a 10-pack. That was pretty sweet.
Isn't that nice?
It was nice until I did all 10 and I only got one new card and it wasn't even anything good. And I was like, all right, I'm never doing this again.
I feel like because I did it twice. Once I did it, just with the hourglasses that I had, and then the other one I had like bought the $20 pack and did it that way. I liked it better doing it early on because it's so satisfying to see all the new cards.
New cards, yeah.
I mean, the second time definitely wasn't as exciting because I only got like 5 to 10 new cards total. But yeah, I'm still playing. I did all of the Lapras event and
same.
Got like the 20 out of 20 or whatever it is, and then I burned through all the single player stuff and got all the hourglasses from that. But I still need to play more multiplayer. I think I have probably 15 wins, maybe.
Okay.
Around that. It's hard though, because like there's definitely the meta decks with the Mewtwo X and
Pikachu X.
And like I've been trying to build a fighting deck with Marowak to combat the Mewtwo deck. But that one's so luck based since you have to like flip a coin for Marowak.
Yeah.
And it can hit big, it can do 160, but
I never hit. I have the worst luck.
Yeah.
Like I have one person that used the Misty coin where like you can draw energy and as many heads. He probably hit 10 heads, and I was like, I just quit. I was like, there's nothing I can do. And he had an Articuno EX out, so in this first turn he was hitting me for 80 damage, and then
Yeah, you're
10 on the
toast.
bench. Yeah, I was toasted. So yeah, that's a little frustrating, but it's part of the RNG process.
Mm-hmm.
What else have you been playing?
So last week I went to Target with the intention of picking up Dragon Quest 3
Okay.
HD 2D remake.
Yeah.
And got there. There weren't any copies on the shelf, so I asked employee.
Did you go on release day?
Yeah, it was on Thursday.
They never have it out. Every time I go into Target, I always have to ask
Well, I
for them.
asked,
Yeah.
and he said they were sold out.
Dang.
I was like,
Okay.
damn, like you guys must have not gotten that many copies.
Yeah.
But Mario and Luigi Brothership was sitting right there looking at me, so I picked it up. Going
IGN's
in,
5 out of 10.
IGN's infamous 5 out of 10. So like I didn't go in with super high expectations, and I'm about 9 hours in
Okay.
at this point, so a good chunk in. I'm having a really good time with it.
Good.
I'm really liking it. It's, I guess the caveat, I haven't played a Mario and Luigi game since Bowser's Inside Story.
Was that the last one?
No. I think after that it was like Dream Team and then
Dream Team.
Paper Jam.
Oh, that's right. They did do a crossover with Paper Mario, right?
Yeah, I think Paper Jam was like 2016 or
Okay.
2015.
So I think what's is
You played Dream Team.
Dream Team?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cause that's the one where you turn like the 3DS sideways, and there was like the kind of the kaiju battles and stuff. That game was cool, but I remember it just taking. It's the problem with all like Mario RPGs for me; they just take way too long to beat.
Yeah, and I think this one's like probably a similar length, around 35 hours, if I'm remembering correctly. But like I really enjoy the combat. It's been kind of progressing in at a good cadence where you're unlocking new like bros moves and you're unlocking like new mechanics like the battle plugs, which are like kind of like modifiers to your attacks, that kind of stuff. Like you do more damage to flying enemies, or you have a bigger hammer, something like that. And those are really cool because they run out and then they have to recharge over like the course of 10 to 30 turns. So you kind of have to constantly cycle out your battle plugs, which is cool. The dialogue is okay. It's very wordy, but you can skip through a lot of it. You can fast forward. And then there's like the whole ship mechanic where you're like sailing around this giant grid and going to different quadrants. And it's kind of weird because like you can set course somewhere and then go to an island that you're already connected to while your ship is sailing. But just based off of like how quickly you sail from A to B, it's not really worth like going off and going to another island and doing side quests, that kind of stuff, because you get like a way to speed up your ship pretty quickly. And I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's kind of weird how they went about it, how they went about like doing your ship movement mechanic where you like, put an item in on your grid and you can go there. But that makes sense. Like it's not something that's annoying or anything. I'm having fun with the traveling to different islands and connecting them to your ship and like kind of like building out that world. It's pretty cool. Yeah, really enjoying it.
So how far are you into it?
About 9 hours.
Okay, so you're pretty deep in.
Yeah, pretty deep. I think I have like all of the like most of the main mechanics, main things that your brothers can do. Like they can like turn into like this flying machine thing and spin around and stuff. They can turn into a ball and go into pipes and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. I mean, I don't have a good frame of reference to the most recent Mario and Luigi's. I don't know how bad it got, but it was good. I like it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I finally finished Silent Hill 2. I don't know why it took me. This is one of those. This could very well be my game of the year. I'm not quite sure yet. I still have a lot of kind of internal debating to do for myself.
Yeah.
But this game is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've ever played a game where I couldn't play it more than like 2 hours at a time. It was just so
It's kind of heavy.
It's so heavy. It's so tense, and it just kind of makes your skin crawl sometimes. I mean, we were talking about the whenever whenever you see an enemy on screen or there's an enemy nearby, not always, because sometimes the little enemies like the 4-leg enemy or whatever, like they do weird movement. Sometimes they're like in a corner or something waiting for you, and then they jump out. But for the most part, for people that don't know, the PlayStation controller will make this really unsettling sound.
It's like a staticky sound.
Yeah, it's like a staticky radio sound. And those who have played Silent Hill probably know. I'm pretty sure it's in all those games, but it is really unsettling, and it's really hard to play for more than like a couple hours, like I said. But I really enjoyed the game. It's probably up there with one of the best, if not the best, survival horror game I've ever played. The map itself is so good. The map is incredible. Like whenever you pick up like a note or something, they'll like James marks it on the map immediately. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like this remake is up there with Resident Evil 4
for sure.
With Dead Space, and it's definitely more tense than
absolutely
either of those two games. And it's consistently tense too, right? Like I know we talked about it a month ago where, I was halfway through and I was saying that, it still feels just as tense as when I started. And that definitely carried to the end of the game because they kept, introducing like new monsters or introducing them in various lights.
Yeah.
And the weapons you have, like they're not super powerful, right? Like you're not getting flooded with ammo and healing items, that kind of stuff. Like you're kind of on the edge of your seat the entire time, which is something that a lot of horror games fail to do in the back half.
Yeah. Yeah. You never one time feel overpowered or, I mean, there were some moments where I did have a ton of ammo. But then you would go.
Then you fight a boss.
You fight a boss, and then you're kind of you're pretty low. So yeah, I mean, there's not like a ton of different enemy types, but they're all super unsettling. Like, you have the regular ones that can kind of like slither across the floor and will shoot, like vomit at you and damage you. Then you have the nurses that are like pretty strong. They can take a lot of weapons unless you. I think they go down with like maybe 2 shots of the rifle, and then like the 2 legs halves that can like crawl in the ceiling and stuff like that are super unsettling. So yeah, not a ton of enemy variety, but it's not really needed. They do a great job kind of sprinkling them around the map, and then when there's not enemies, especially for like the like I really liked the last area, the motel or the hotel.
Yeah.
That was a great area because for the most part, like in the main floor area, there's never any enemies, but it's still tense. You just feel like you have to walk around every single corner. There's no running or anything in this game. I mean, there is running, but you have to
job.
You have to just take your time.
So what was your give me your favorite area and your least favorite area?
My least favorite area. Probably the prison, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree.
I mean, it wasn't a long area, and I did like it. The fact that you didn't have to go through it again in like the dark world, like you do in most of the other areas. But yeah, probably that one because it was just so dark, and there was this. I couldn't tell if it was an enemy that was getting near me, but sometimes there would just be like this bellow of music playing, and I thought something was going to come and attack me, but it never did. So it was again, I use the word unsettling a lot, but it's just playing that game, playing that area was very, very creepy. And then when in the end of the area, when you do like the main puzzle, and there's like the 6 gallows, I didn't really understand that. Like I went through 1 or 2 of them, and it was like a kind of like a where I fought like a bunch of enemies, and then climbed the ladder, and then I was back up, and I was like, okay, what did I do?
So I looked it up, and like the puzzle that gives you all the different scenarios.
Yeah.
You were supposed to pick one that did like the least amount of wrongdoing. There was one that I think like a mother stole bread or something to feed her family.
Oh, okay.
So you would pick that corresponding noose or gallow.
Gotcha.
And then that would take you to the correct area rather than having to go into the combat room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think I did the first one you could do, or the one that's like right next to you, and all the enemies came down, and I was like, oh crap, and I ran. And I was like, well, maybe I'm supposed to complete it. And then I did this, and then I fell into the second one, killed all the enemies, and then I was like, okay. And then I fell to the third one, and then that's when the story continued on. So yeah, I missed that point of, I mean, I matched up everything, obviously, to get the gallows to come down, but I wasn't really sure what to do in that moment. But
yeah, that one was pretty confusing.
Yeah, but got through it, and then I think you fight Eddie right after that, which was a really cool fight too.
Yeah,
I think that's like the only. Yeah, I think that's the only human fight in the game, other than the last boss. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, great game. Again, I think this could potentially be my game of the year. It's between that and a couple other games, but yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this game.
Heck yeah. What was your favorite area?
Honestly, probably the motel. I really like that area.
Yeah, I think that and the hospital might have been my
the hospital was really good as well.
Favorites.
Because I even liked. I mean, even after you go through the motel, or I guess it's more of a hotel. Anyways,
it's a hotel.
After you go through the hotel, and then you have to kind of traverse back through it in the dark world. I thought that was really cool because they definitely cut off a bunch of areas. So you're not actually exploring. It's just very, very linear, but it's cool seeing that scene and that transition into the dark world after you have the revelation about your wife.
And I don't think there were like any enemies
in
the other world either, except for the ones that were lying helpless on the ground that you beat to a pulp.
It was just the one. I only saw one.
Okay.
So I wasn't quite sure. And again, it's for me, it was on site. Like you like my main strategy, if it's like the Slytherin enemies, I would usually just let them approach me, and then I'd whack them a couple times with the pipe, and then do like the back steps. I would avoid like the acid explosion. And then the nurses, they just got the rifle. Like I'm not playing around with
those. The rifle.
And then the other one, the 4-legged one,
the mannequin one.
Yeah, I would usually shoot it a couple times and then go in for the melee kill just to try to save some ammo.
The double shot and the whack with the pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, that TikTok was so hilarious.
You're just
for context, if people don't know, I did it. There's in the final area of the game, you walk, and they've been doing this the entire game, but I walked into one of the little bathrooms and immediately got attacked by the mannequin, and then killed it. And then I went to go open the little medicine cabinet to get some health or whatever. And on my camera, I saw the door open, and then just instinct kicked in, and I just tapped the back button and dodged it. And then it was like a whole like a little mini brawl fight. It was awesome.
It was like the Mike Tyson fight from this weekend. I mean,
my God, that was. I'm so glad I didn't pay for that. That was ass.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was.
Well, for one thing,
really
Netflix they dropped the ball on like the connection. Like it was horrible. It was so laggy. I did watch I don't remember their names, but the female fight was great. Like that was an actual fight. But yeah, the Mike Tyson fight was not great.
I mean, I guess what do people expect? The guy's almost 60 years old. Obviously, he's not going to give it his all.
Yeah.
I don't think what's his face wanted to knock him out either. Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of weird. All this boxing stuff is just all to make money. It's all to make as much money as possible.
Yeah, I think Jake won. I think he got like 60 million, and Mike Tyson got 20 million. So I mean, for 16 minutes of your time, you've made more money than most people will ever make in their lifetime. So
yeah,
I mean, whatever, get on for that, I guess. But it was still fun watching all the preliminary fights and stuff. But if it was like a full on pay per view where you're paying hundreds of bucks, yeah, it would have been a total waste of money.
Yeah,
but it was cool. So yeah, and then of course, like I think one of my favorite things that games do, especially for survival horror games, and we talked about it, but when they give you the stats at the very end of the game, lets you know how many times you died. I think it tells you how many times you opened up your map, what was your favorite weapon and stuff like that. So
there's a ton. Yeah, a ton of random stats.
Yeah, there's a ton of stats, and I definitely appreciate that stuff. The pipe was definitely my favorite weapon, or most used weapon. Yeah, just came in swinging, bro.
Mine too. Yeah. Is what?
I just had to come in swinging.
Onside, man. Just onside.
So, yeah, this game is great.
You got the leave ending. I got the in water ending. So it sounded like we were playing in similar play styles, but you probably did something that I didn't do, or I did something that you didn't do that kind of like pushed me towards that ending.
I wonder what, because I didn't even know there were different endings.
Yeah, there's like 8 endings.
Yeah, well, yeah. At the end, it's like play again and discover all the endings. I'm like, what? There's more. There's different endings. Okay, because there was nothing. Because there's not like there's side quests in the game.
So there were like a couple of key decisions, like at the end of the game, and this is spoilers for a 20-year-old game. When you fight the 2 pyramid heads.
Yeah.
And you can go through either one of those doors.
Oh.
One you use like a pristine apple, and the other one you use a rotten apple. The pristine one represents who was Maria?
Maria.
And the rotten one represents Mary. So if you like went with the rotten one, that kind of leans you more towards Mary. Wherever the Maria one, you get like a Maria ending, or that kind of like pushes you towards a Maria ending. And then there's other things like if you visit her multiple times in the labyrinth, or if you like look at Mary's picture enough times in your inventory, or like there's like a lot of like weird things where like
I kind of wish it would, because I remember that part where after you fight the 2 pyramid heads and like there's the 2 doors, I'm like, because I kind of opened up one, like each one barely just to see where it went, and I was like, oh, they're the same. They're just going to the same spot. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. Kind of convoluted,
but I think it's a good representation of just how you played the game. Like, did you reference that photo of Mary? Like, were you interested in seeing what she looks like, or did you, follow Maria around and like check in on her in the labyrinth?
I think I checked in on her once in the. I don't think I love the labyrinth area either. Now that we're saying it, it was a little confusing trying to get through that.
Yeah, and that was what, 3? Like it had like 3 different sections that you had to play through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it was fine. It wasn't a big deal.
That area wasn't super long either.
No. But being able to and again, spoilers, being able to kind of drag the sword that Pyramid Head uses was pretty cool. I mean, he didn't do anything with it, but that was cool. Yeah, pretty convoluted, but I mean, I guess it makes sense in the sense of this game, because the game is pretty convoluted in a way. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna play it again. I might play it again in the future to see what other endings there is. But yeah, this game is so good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think there's a chainsaw in New Game Plus.
A chainsaw?
Yeah, that you can get and like insta kill enemies.
What? Okay, all right. I might have to play it again.
Yeah, it's got a little Resident Evil tinge to it.
And see, I love a game with a good New Game Plus too, where it really gives you a good new weapons and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I might have to do that.
Have you played anything else? Call of Duty.
Did play a little bit of Call of Duty. The new season just came out, which I bought that Vault edition, so it came with the Battle Pass. Checked that out a little bit. I think I played 2 of the new maps. They're pretty good. I enjoyed them. I'll probably, now that I'm done with Silent Hill, I'll probably pick up Call of Duty more. I kind of took a break from it while I was waiting for the new season to come out, but still a lot of fun. Still got to play the single player. Yeah, it's good.
Nice. Yeah, I played it. I think I played it last week when the new season came out and played some of those new maps and like that new mode, the one where you're trying to get money out of the payload.
Yeah.
Bring it back. That one's pretty cool. One thing I did realize that it's just weird is that, you and I do game sharing. So like if you buy a game, snacks.
I was gonna say, is that snacks?
Yeah, snacks. 1 second, sorry.
His dog is scratching at the door.
She was scratching. No, she was making her bed.
Oh, God, it's loud.
Okay, yeah, you and I game share, but if you buy DLC,
she's gotta get comfy.
She's comfortable. But if you buy DLC, I don't get it, so I have to buy it separately. And
okay.
Yeah, and like
it's weird.
It makes sense now because you told me you bought Alan Wake 2's DLC, and I went to go look for it. I was like, it's still asking me to buy it, so it's kind of weird.
Did you log into my account and download it from there?
I didn't, but normally I'm able to just. Normally it says I have ownership over a game.
Yeah. Speaking of Alan Wake, I did boot up the Lake House DLC, and I played maybe 20 minutes of it.
Same here.
It's good. I mean, I haven't fought any enemies yet. I just kind of explored like that first room, and then I went down to the low area. It's a lot faster than like Silent Hill is. But then I pulled up the map, and I was like, "Ooh, this map is not as good as as Silent Hill." So, yeah,
it doesn't hold a candle to that map.
That might be one of the best maps ever in the survival horror game.
I mean, just the fact that it dynamically updates when you like touch a locked door is so smart.
Yeah,
like, man, Bloober Team.
And I don't know, and I don't know if that's happened in the original game or not, but if that's something that Bloober Team did, that's genius, and I think that should be implemented in every survival horror game. Because I would probably get lost. I probably would have gotten a lot more lost in that game if that wasn't the case. Because you're like, okay,
definitely,
is this door locked or not? Or if you go into a room where there's like a puzzle that you can't yet solve, like it'll do like a question mark on it and stuff like that, or circle it and say, hey, this is like the jukebox, or whatever the point of interest is in the room. Like just really cool stuff like that.
Man, this is the one game that I wish would have gotten a Game of the Year nomination.
Yeah, someone on the TikTok earlier for Blatro, they're like, I wish Silent Hill was in place of this. And it's like, okay, finally a comment that I agree on. Like
finally a non-Warhammer related comment.
Yeah.
That makes some semblance of sense, but
I wish, and we'll talk about it here in a second, but yeah, with DLC getting nominated over,
that I understand. Like people being mad about that, I understand, because that's a DLC of a game that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and you have 90% of the game to play it. It's not like
you have to play through it.
Yeah, it's not like the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC where you can buy that separately and play it as a standalone. It's I don't know. I'm a little bit against it at this point, just because there are like a lot of really good games.
I guess let's just dive into it. We'll talk about it now. So we're going to talk about the Game Award nominees. We're going to go through them and just pick the ones that we want to win versus what we think is going to win based off of the popular vote. But yeah, so we'll let me pull up there we go. All right, so we'll start with the Game of the Year. So obviously we know at this point, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor, ReFantazio got the top or the 6 nominee spots. So yeah, I think I'm not the type of person, and I know you're not either. If your favorite game doesn't get listed, it's not the freaking end of the world. It doesn't take away your opinion of the game. It doesn't take away the value that the game gave you. It doesn't take away the fact that it's your game of the year. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to go on the internet and trash talk a game that you haven't played before because your favorite game didn't get nominated. I haven't played Metaphor, and I also haven't played Final Fantasy VII. You've played a bit of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, 35 hours of it.
How many hours?
35, man.
And you didn't beat it?
No, I'll get to it.
I'll get to it eventually. So yeah, and I think all the games that are nominated are worthy of being nominated. Obviously, the Shadow of the Erdtree is probably the big controversy.
Yep.
It is a piece of DLC. It's not a standalone expansion. You have to have played up into a pretty big portion of base Elden Ring to even get to the expansion.
And it's a boss you don't have to fight.
Yeah, and it's an optional boss. So while I absolutely love Shadow of the Erdtree, and it's content wise, they could put it out separately and it's just as big as a lot of other games that came out this year, lengthwise and just content wise. But Elden Ring already got its dues. It got its dues in 2022. It won Game of the Year 2022.
It did.
And I feel like obviously the Game Award has biases. I think there's a bias towards PlayStation. I do think there's definitely a bias towards FromSoft for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Tweaking the verbiage of what DLC and stuff can.
Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating because you now know that this is probably going to win Game of the Year. And it's
I don't know if it will. I don't think it. I think Game of the Year is probably going to go to either Astrobot or Metaphor.
Okay.
I don't think Elden Ring is going to win it.
Okay.
But that being said, like if they're changing the rules to add in Elden Ring, like how far is it going to go?
Exactly. And this, and like the nominee spots for the Game Awards has always been weird. Like obviously the big thing last year was like the indie game, Dave the Diver. It's like that was not an indie game at all. Was
that in Game of the Year?
No. It was best indie game, and it's like no, the studio behind that has a lot of money, or the ownership of the studio has a lot of money, so it's like it's not an indie game necessarily. It just looks like an indie game. I think that's why I got nominated and won. And
then 2022 had Stray in the Game of the Year.
Yeah, like what are we doing? What are we doing? That was Stray last year? Or no, that was 2022.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a clear like weird bias. I don't know. That was odd.
That was so weird because that one. Yeah, I played through. It was fun, but
nowhere near close to being Game of the Year. Come on. What are we doing? So yeah, there's always controversies around the Game Awards with their nominees and stuff like that. But
how do you feel? Before we get into what we're going to get into. How do you feel about Black Myth Wukong being nominated when the Metacritic score's so low? I'm low, but it's at 81.
I'm pumped. I think this is one of the best games of the year. I thought it was going to get snubbed. I called it. I was like, this is going to get snubbed because game reviewers and games media didn't like this game for whatever reason. If it's the controversy stuff behind the game, studio, whatever the case is. I thought it was going to get snubbed for sure.
I think a lot of people didn't resonate with the combat. I think that's the main reason.
Which I don't really get because I think the combat was excellent, but I don't know. Opinions. It doesn't matter.
I can see it. Like comparing that to how combat feels in a game like Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
There's a pretty clear difference there. Yeah. And it's not necessarily quality related. It's just down to preference.
Exactly.
But I can see someone seeing it that way.
Which if Black Myth, if Stellar Blade replaced Black Myth, I'd be fine with that. I think Stellar Blade could easily have been in the top 6. That game was really, really good. But yeah, I'm glad that it's here. I don't know if it's going to win. But I'm honestly okay with anything winning in this list. I mean, Shadow of the Erdtree, I don't necessarily want it to win just because I want to highlight these other games. But I mean, if it wins, it wins. It's not the end of the world for me. I know that people are super pissed about it, but I see both sides.
I'm at the point now where I want Balatro to just take it all.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So I made a TikTok months ago
in March.
Yeah, back in March when when the game came out, and I just screen recorded my Switch because I finally got to the first run. And getting to the first run, it's pretty difficult. Yeah. So I was pretty happy. Posted up on TikTok. I mean, it did decent numbers or whatever. Didn't think anything of it. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, we started getting like more likes on the video, way more comments. People are starting to come in and say, why is this game a card game gets nominated? What are we promoting gambling now and all this stuff? And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this TikTok? And then I went to the views, and it's like over 100,000 views. So I'm like, whoa, like that's insane. And then I started kind of just commenting back on people, just saying, really, this game got nominated over Warhammer or this. And I'm like, well, I was like, it's all preference, man. Like your opinion's your opinion. It's all good. I was like, if you haven't played this game, I would recommend trying it. It's really, really fun. Yes, it's just a card game. It's just poker at the end of the day, but it kind of spins it on its head with the Joker mechanics. I was like, it's really fun, but people are genuinely upset. And the way that they're commenting on the video, we talked about this before the show, but it feels like it's our fault. Like, I said to one person, I was like, I made this TikTok months ago, back like 8 months ago. Why are we now commenting on it? I'm not the developer. I'm not the one that nominated the guy. I would have if I was asked, but I'm not the reason why it took over Warhammer spot.
Yeah, there were so many people saying this game took Warhammer Space Marine 2's spot. I'm like, bro, if Balatro wasn't nominated, it wouldn't be Warhammer next on the list.
No,
it would be a game like Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2
or like Dragon's Dogma 2, Stellar Blade, Prince of Persia. Like, where the hell is Prince of Persia? Like that should have been on this list.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny that people think their game is next in line when it's not the case, dude.
Oh, I remember last year when Spider-Man 2 didn't win one award and people were like pissed. I'm like, I mean, it's like I love Spider-Man 2. I thought it was a great game, but I don't think it was necessarily top in any of the categories that it was nominated in, and that's fine. It was still really. I mean, I platinumed the game. It's incredible, but yeah, I don't know. People just nobody hates games more than gamers is what I've kind of came up to that I've seen. It's
and people often belittle indie games and say like, oh, they're not the same caliber of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because that game has a proper story and proper dialogue,
story and realistic graphics and all this stuff.
And like, brother, Tetris is hailed as one of the best games of all time, and there's not a story there. It's just falling blocks.
Yeah, it's just falling blocks. It's just fun. God forbid something's just fun. I don't need every game to throw a story at me.
Don't need every game to move me to tears or show me a story of a father-son struggling relationship. Like, just like Astrobot or Balatro, just make a game, and that's fine. Like, it's not anything more or less than Final Fantasy Rebirth or Space Marine 2. I mean, I don't know, man. It's so crazy that Balatro is getting this much hate, but
I won't stand for it. I will not stand for Balatro hate.
Not at all. I can't stand for all this, man. It's an abomination.
It's insane. I just do not get it. But whatever. People are gonna cry on the internet. So that being said, we talked about the 6. Obviously, you and I haven't played Metaphor, so we don't really have much to say about that. But according to everybody else, this game is incredible. So
I think it has a real shot at winning.
So on this list, who do you want to win, and who do you think is going to win Game of the Year?
I want Balatro to win.
I do too at this point.
I mean, I think I would want Balatro or Astrobot to win. I think it'll either be Astrobot or Metaphor.
Yeah. Just for all the hate, I think I do want Balatro to win. I think Astrobot's going to take it.
Yeah,
I think it is. It's an incredible game. It really is an excellent game.
I mean, honestly, I'd be happy if any one of these 6 won.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're all incredible games, with the exception of Metaphor. I haven't played it, so I can't attest to that. But yeah, I think all these games are kind of like clear Game of the Year contenders.
Yeah.
In a year of really great games, like you could swap any one of these games for Silent Hill 2, and I would still think it's a good list.
Yep. Or Prince of Persia.
Yeah. Man, Prince of Persia kind of got snubbed.
I haven't looked at all the categories yet, so I'm not 100% sure.
Well, let's go through.
All right, let's go. All right, so best game direction, same list as Game of the Year.
I don't know. Maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. Like, outstanding creative vision. Oh, creative vision, probably Astrobot.
Yeah, I would say either. I mean, all the other games are just kind of RPGs. I would say either Balatro or Astrobot. I'm gonna go Astrobot for what I think it's gonna win and what I want to win.
Cool.
But that game did a lot with its direction. It did, using the controller mechanics, actually making that fun. Yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. All right, best narrative. We've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, ReFantazio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Pretty good. I've only played Silent Hill 2 and Senua's Saga. I don't know. I kind of want Hellblade 2 to win this one. I did think the narrative was pretty good in that game.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. My problem with Hellblade 2 is, looking back, it kind of seems like a somewhat forgettable experience. Like, I'm not often thinking back to Hellblade 2, but maybe that's because it was so short.
Yeah.
And didn't offer that much in terms of combat. But I would hope Silent Hill 2 would win this one. Either that or Metaphor, which I heard has a really great narrative.
Yeah.
I don't think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will win it. I think Like a Dragon has a chance, because that's a really great story from what I've played. But yeah, I would like Silent Hill 2 to take this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Hellblade 2. And then I think Like a Dragon's gonna take it. I got a feel about that one. All right. Best art direction. We've got Neva, Metaphor, and ReFantazio, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Black Myth, and Astrobot. I think Astrobot takes this one for sure.
Yeah, I think either Astrobot or Neva.
Yeah. I mean, Elden Ring, I mean, that game is gorgeous. Like the backdrops, the skyboxes, all that stuff is so beautiful, but it's Elden Ring. Like it's Dark Souls. It's not, I feel like I'm nitpicking here, but we've seen it before. Like we've seen it in most of all the Dark Souls games. Like it's gorgeous, but and same with Black Myth. I mean, it's a great looking game.
Oh yeah.
But a lot like Elden Ring, we've kind of seen it before. I think Astrobot takes it.
I think it takes it. Yeah. Man, is this going to be like an Astrobot sweep?
It might be. It has a good chance. All right, so best score and music, we've got Stellar Blade, Silent Hill 2, Metaphor, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Astrobot.
This is an easy Stellar Blade for me.
This should win.
Yep.
I think Astrobot will probably win, but I think Stellar Blade is.
Stellar Blade soundtrack is so incredible.
Yeah, if Stellar Blade doesn't win, then people just didn't play it. Is my opinion.
Yeah.
Same with Xenoblade. Xenoblade got absolutely snubbed in 2022 for best music.
Yep. It really did. What won best music in 20? Was it God of War?
Yeah, something like that. Like
such a shit pick, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was awful. Best audio design: Astrobot, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
I would lean Hellblade 2 for this one, or Call of Duty. I mean, the sound design in Call of Duty is always fantastic, but I think I'm gonna
go Silent Hill 2 on this one.
You thinking about that controller sound?
I'm thinking about the controller sounds, like, and just the kind of
the eeriness, right?
Yeah, the eerie music it has. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 for me. What do I think will win? Probably Astrobot. Astrobot's got some really good controller sounds, and just the sound design in general is really good with kind of moving through the environment and stuff, and all the bots and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
I'm sticking with Hellblade 2. I think that will take it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that was obviously that's their big deal is audio
built
design.
Around sound. Yeah, so if they don't
win. Okay, I'll stick with Silent Hill 2, but yeah, I think you're right about Hellblade. Best performance, we've got Brianna White in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Telly in Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez in Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts in Silent Hill 2, and Melina Jurgens and Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
Oof. Man, I might go Melina.
I think that one takes it too.
And it could just be because of their like facial capture technology that makes everything so realistic. Good. But yeah, that was a really great character. So
I mean, her performance was great too. Like
yeah,
I think that one is easy for that one. Innovation and accessibility. We've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. This one's, I mean,
I'm not sure.
So recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I didn't play Diablo 4, Dragon Age, or Star Wars, so I really can't speak on what those games did. Mm-hmm. Prince of Persia, I don't remember any notable accessibility features. Yeah. I'm just gonna say Call of Duty. There's probably some crazy accessibility features in that game. I really don't have a stake in this one. I'm not sure.
Diablo, I guess. I mean, it's weird because this game didn't even come out this year, but.
Oh yeah, it didn't, did it?
No.
Was it last
year? Yeah.
Maybe because of Vessel of Hatred.
Yeah, maybe.
Games for impact. This is for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zao.
I think Neva will take this one. I do want to play this game.
No, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This one just came out, didn't it? Like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I really don't know. I mean, I didn't finish Tales of Kenzera, and and Hellblade 2 was.
Yeah, that's the only game I've played on here.
I'm just gonna say Hellblade 2. All right. Best ongoing game, which is always a weird one. All right, so awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. I mean, Destiny 2 had an expansion come out this year. Diablo had an expansion come out this year. I think Final Fantasy had an expansion come out.
Yeah, that one really turned around the past few years.
Yeah, Fortnite's obviously always adding.
Always got stuff, yeah.
Adding on, and I think they've won that award before. Helldivers 2, I know they've been obviously updating the game, but that game was such a controversy for a while. I don't know if it's going to win.
I don't think it is, and I don't know if it's had like super noticeable content in the past few months either. I don't know. I could see this going to either Diablo or Final Fantasy 14, but I don't know. It's really hard to say.
I'm gonna say Destiny because I know that's the expansion that brought back like Cade. I'm gonna say Destiny too, but I actually don't know. I don't really keep up with these games other than Fortnite. I don't keep up with any of these games. Best community support. Baldur's Gate 3. I guess I'll recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. So Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Oof. I think Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Best independent game is where it gets interesting. Animal Well. And let's read it for the content. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game outside the traditional publisher system. So we've got Animal Well, we've got Balatro, we've got Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. I think Balatro takes this one easily.
Yeah, I think either Balatro. I would like to see Animal Well win.
Yeah. I never did finish that game.
I think it'd be Balatro.
Best debut indie game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio, we've got Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, which that game was created by one person, I think, as well, which is insane. Pacific Drive, and Plucky Squire.
I still need to go back and play more of the Plucky Squire.
I do too, yeah.
I mean, I think this will be Balatro.
I think so, yeah. I do.
It's a lot of good debut indies, though.
Yeah. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device. This one might get us, Nick. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. I haven't played any of these games except for Balatro and Pokemon. I have not played this on the iPhone, Balatro, so I know you have. So what's your experience with that? I wish it
played vertically, and I understand why it doesn't.
Yeah,
but that does take away the experience a little bit. It makes me wish I would just play on my Switch.
Okay, so for me, this is 100% Pokemon. This game is, it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, best VR AR game for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Arizona Sunshine remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening.
I think this will go to Batman.
I think so too. I mean, I didn't play any of these games, but I think it's probably Batman. I heard Batman was pretty good.
I heard it was great. It made me look at the Quest 3 for a split second, and then I came to my senses.
Okay, this one where it starts to get a little divisive here. So, best action game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. It's always a weird one when a first-person shooter shows up in here, but
yep.
So, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer Space Marine 2. I hope Stellar Blade wins.
Yeah, this is my pick. Yeah, for sure. It's such a great. The combat is just so excellent in this game. I think it stands above the rest on this list.
I think so. I think I don't know, man. I think Black Myth may win this category, but I hope it's Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
But I could see Stellar Blade winning. Best action adventure game. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I mean,
I think
I
action adventure. I mean, Silent Hill 2 was probably my favorite out of these. But I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see. I think I like Silent Hill 2 better than Prince of Persia, but I prefer Prince of Persia to win over Silent Hill 2.
I think for this category, I would like to see,
because this is probably the only one that's gonna have a shot at winning.
Mm-hmm.
Best RPG. For the best game design with rich layer character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. We got Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, and Metaphor Refantasio.
Man, this one, I don't know, dude. I feel like these are all viable picks.
Yeah.
I
think Metaphor is going to win.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I really do love the vocation system in Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, that was really cool. And the character customization is pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know we're kind of ignoring Elden Ring, but I do think Elden Ring could take this category.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, any of these could win. I don't really have a preference.
Yeah, I don't
for
either.
This one.
I'll say Shadow of the Erdtree just for whatever. It's gonna win something. I'd rather win here than Game of the Year.
Yeah.
All right, best fighting game. For the best game design primarily around head-to-head combat, we've got this is kind of a wild list here. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue, Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. I think Tekken 8 is going to win for sure.
You don't think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is going to win?
No, it'll be Tekken 8. That game reviewed incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
I need to play more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. It was pretty. I mean, it's really good. Don't get me wrong, but it's pretty samey. Like if you've played the Xenoverse games, this game is a lot like those.
Right.
And I was hoping for something a little bit different. I don't know exactly what I was hoping for, but I don't know.
I mean, and you played a lot of Kakarot too.
Yeah, Kakarot I have like 100 hours in. That game. I love that game. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. These are always weird because it's not
Nintendo category.
It's the Nintendo category, but a lot of these games aren't 2-player.
Astrobot, Princess Peach, Zelda. I mean, the only 2-player one is Mario Party.
Yeah.
So I hope that wins it, I guess.
Yeah, like Zelda, like Echoes of Wisdom, like wow.
Why is that there?
That's weird. I'm gonna just say I haven't played Mario Party, but that's the only one that makes sense. That's the only one that's multiplayer, so
right.
I think that should win. Best sim strategy game. Best game focused on real-time and turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kanutsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
I gotta get my pick for Unicorn Overlord.
All right, I'll go with that one. I think that one probably wins it too.
Yeah.
Best sports / racing game, F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K 24. I
don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
Soccer.
Whatever.
Yeah, FC, whatever.
Best multiplayer game, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer. I mean, Call of Duty is probably going to win this one. Maybe Helldivers 2.
I think Helldivers 2 is going to win. I hope Call of Duty wins just because it's such a good
It's a great Call of
multiplayer
Duty
game. Yeah.
Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. We've got Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, the TV show, Like a Dragon, Yakuza. I forgot that was a TV show. And Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. Fallout.
100%.
Arcane could win it, but Fallout was
that was
the
a
best.
breakout hit.
That's like the best video game adaptation thing ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What else we got? Most anticipated game. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metro Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
I mean, it's going to be GTA 6.
For sure. That's been like most anticipated for like 2 years now.
It's an easy pick. If that wasn't here, I mean, probably Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these games are looking to be great. So
yeah, it's probably Grand Theft Auto. And are you more hyped for Grand Theft Auto or Metro Prime 4?
Personally, Metro Prime 4.
Okay, yeah, I think I am too. I think once I see more of GTA 6, I'll probably get pretty excited. And to be honest, I'll probably take the day off whenever this game comes out, just so I can just dive into it. But yeah, I think I'm just excited to see Prime 4, just because I mean it's been in development forever, and I just want to see what this thing ultimately looks like as a polished game. Content Creator of the Year. I never know who these people are.
We can skip that.
I like Queso. Queso's pretty funny. Have you ever seen Queso?
I've not.
I haven't personally watched him stream, but I have seen him, like on like TikToks and stuff.
Gotcha.
Best esports game. Who cares? Best esports athlete. Sorry, but okay. Esports team. I think
we're just not tapped into esports.
Nah. Cool. So that is the list. So I'm pretty excited for the Game Awards. I mean, it's, say what you will, it's a big ad fest for most of the time, but it's still a good time.
Hey, we always have fun at it.
Yeah, we'll live stream it. It'll probably be a freaking 4-hour show, but
live stream, have a few drinks. We'll do our thing.
But I mean, this one could be good. I mean, we could get a GTA 6 trailer. We could potentially see Metroid Prime 4 here. I mean, hell, Switch 2 could be here. I mean,
honestly, yeah, I guess we should talk about what we think is going to be there. Like, I know we've been thinking the Switch 2 is going to get announced in October or September, but this could be the best platform to do it with how many people are watching.
Yeah, I mean, you get like hundreds of millions of people watching the show, either live streamed or catching trailers after the fact. So, I mean, what better way to promote a new platform than the Game Awards? I think it's possible.
Anything's possible. I think,
and Nintendo's usually pretty quiet at the Game Awards. Like
one or two announcements.
We have 1 or 2 announcements, and never a huge deal. So that, I mean, they could show up pretty big here. That could be awesome.
And I think if they don't do this, there's like a small chance we see Metroid Prime 4, and potentially, maybe not at the Game Awards, but leading up to it, get releases of Prime 2 and 3.
You think maybe we get like a little stealth drop?
I think it's possible. I think there is an actual possibility that happens. But
for the sake of my fantasy critic and in any ways of saving it this year, because I have all but lost. I need
unless
Prime
I lose
2.
points.
Yeah, I need Prime 2 to come out.
Yeah, that's your only game left, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pulling it up now. Do I dare say Hollow Knight shows up at the Game Awards?
Dude, I don't know. I'm at the point where like,
yeah, you've got 3 games coming out. I'm cooked. and you're up by 25 points. Yeah, I'm cooked.
Wait, no, you're up right now.
Yeah, I'm up by 14 points.
14 points. I have Flight Sim,
that's
Stalker 2, and Indiana Jones. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it, but Stalker 2 could come in low. Indiana Jones could come in low. I could lose points. You never know.
Yeah, Microsoft, it's like a guaranteed at least a 90.
Yeah,
So that'll
whatever
get you.
review. I think that came out today, so I don't even know if there are any reviews out for it.
Oh, we did. That's right. Then tomorrow's Stalker. Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, I still, we probably won't see Hollow Knight, but
I'm worried about the state of that game. I'm worried it's going to come out and disappoint.
I mean,
at this point in time, so far along in this game's development, I'm hoping it's not another sports story situation, but
that'd be bad.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm wondering. You remember like the whole Unity situation that happened like last year or the year before?
Yeah,
where they switched up how their
like the royalties
payout works. Yeah, the royalties. I wonder if they switched over to like Unreal, which would obviously cost them a lot of time to do that. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering that's why it's taken so long.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could be the case because it's a really small team.
Yeah.
And they know it's going to be like a big seller. So there's that risk having to pay all those royalties.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you either see anything else coming from Nintendo or see anything from the big three from Xbox or PlayStation?
I mean, I would like to see another trailer for Gears of War.
Yeah.
Would love that.
Or like a Fable trailer, a new one.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox is just so like, I don't know.
I'm
excited for Fable, but like we've seen this stuff for so long, or it's been announced for so long that it's like it's hard to get excited until we have like a concrete date.
And then when it comes out, you're not as excited about it because you've seen so much of it.
Exactly.
It's like with Avowed, like we've seen a lot of that game at this point, and I mean, even with Indiana Jones now, it's like we've seen like a couple of handful of deep dives.
Yeah, I don't need to see any more of Indiana Jones. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so to wrap up, we'll finish out a couple of other news items we have. Alan Wake 2 has sold 1.8 million copies. And what's Control 2? An action RPG. It's an RPG.
Yeah. Control 2 is going to be an action RPG.
Interesting. Okay.
Whatever that means.
Okay, that's cool. And then the last story is Sony is trying to buy the owner of FromSoft, which is Kato Kawa. They're I guess they're the parent company that owns FromSoft, and
they own a majority portion of FromSoft, and then I know Sony currently has like a minority stake in FromSoft. So they would, if they bought this company, they would have majority stake in From Software. And then I think that they also own the developers of Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 and Mario and Luigi.
What'd you say?
Mario and Luigi. So they also have ownership over the developer. I think it's Aspire or Acquire.
Okay.
They made Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 as well as Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Okay. Well, I mean, that could affect them, but they're going to make another Mario and Luigi game. They can always change developers if they need to.
Right.
And they're also a pretty prolific publisher of anime as well, Kadokawa, which is interesting because Sony already owns Crunchyroll and Funimation, so they'll have a pretty big monopoly on anime products, whether it's TV, film, manga, and then obviously anime. So that would be interesting. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about PlayStation potentially having the next FromSoft game exclusive? Obviously, Bloodborne was their big one, and they've still done nothing with.
Yeah, I would say the only upside to it is if we get either a Bloodborne remake or Bloodborne 2. But I don't think they would go the route of exclusivity.
This game sells too well to do that.
Yeah, They sell too
across the
well.
board, and with like the Switch too being more powerful, like that stuff could come to there. So yeah, that would be money left on the table, I think. And to be honest, with Xbox, they're weird. Everything is an Xbox kind of marketing strategy right now. It's a little weird, but I mean, in a few years, I think PlayStation is going to be putting their stuff on Xbox. There's just too much. There's too much money left on the table. The games are way too expensive to not have on everything.
And that's probably
except for Nintendo. Nintendo's going to keep them in house.
Right. That's probably in early talks now with Sony just seeing all these Call of Duty sales, like all the sales of Black Ops 6 on their platform, and knowing that a portion of their sales are going towards Xbox. Like that's something that Xbox wouldn't get if they had kept Call of Duty exclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's money you're missing out on if you go the exclusivity route. So I think I don't see a world where if they had majority ownership of From Software, they would have only exclusive games going forward. I think they would still remain multi-platform, just like Bungie.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for us.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't care that all the Xbox stuff is going third party. I mean, I'll play on Xbox because it's got Game Pass, and that's where I can play it for the cheapest. And it's gonna run as well on a PlayStation. So I don't care at this point. I could care less about exclusivities. I just want people to play all the games that they can play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everything's going everywhere. And Indiana Jones is going to PlayStation. Call of Duty is everywhere.
Yep.
Whatever, dude. Who cares? Who cares?
Just play where you want. Just play where you want. Play where your friends are. Play what you want to play on. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? I mean, it's just gaming. It's just gaming.
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
From we're like, oh my God, Sea of Thieves is going to PlayStation. That's crazy. To now it's.
Yeah, I mean, like it was pretty shocking, and we still have yet to, like, when Halo makes that jump, and I think it will. That's going to be shocking. Like it's going to be weird, absolutely weird.
I think Halo and Gears both.
Yeah, but heck, I mean, I could see it happening. At this point, it's going to be weird. Like being able to go to the store and buy a PlayStation. Halo with PlayStation branding on top of it. It'll be weird for sure, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Halo's going to sell more physical copies on PlayStation than it ever would on Xbox.
Yeah, it'll sell better on PlayStation than Xbox, which is an insane thing to think about, but whatever. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up the show. We appreciate everyone tuning in live. Download the show on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. If you could review us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice,
that'd be great.
That would be just great. If you ever want to catch us live, we're live here on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. So whatever your favorite platform is, come in and say hi and talk with us. We'll respond to the chat and stuff like that. We'll be back next Monday. That's right before the holidays, so we'll have one more show. We may take that following Monday off just because there's probably not going to be a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Play by ear.
Yeah, we'll play by ear, but we'll definitely have one more show before Thanksgiving. Just talk about whatever else happens. And yeah, Nick, any final thoughts?
You think we get any Nintendo news this week? Anything?
I don't know. Nintendo hasn't said anything on Twitter for 4 days, and then all of a sudden they talk about Brothership earlier today. So people are a little suspect of that, of why they're being so quiet. But
yeah,
they dropped. Or no, they didn't talk about.
They talked about My Sims.
My Sims, yeah. So
that is strange. Normally they have something every day.
Tweets.
Yeah, multiple tweets per day. So that is weird.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say we don't hear anything. That's just the easy answer. I think if we're gonna get anything Switch 2 related this year, it's gonna be the Game Awards. Otherwise, it's gonna be
January or February.
January 1st. There's gonna be hundreds of thousands of YouTube videos.
Switch 2 coming this year.
Yeah, and for each video, they're gonna delay it by a day, so we're never gonna get it.
For each video that Nintendo Prime does, Nintendo pushes back the release 1 week.
They probably have a running joke. Feel like, oh my god, he's put out another video about Switch 2.
Oh man, good stuff, dude.
They probably, knowing Nintendo, they probably have somebody on Family Boards just spouting nonsense to try to deter people away from the actual leaks and stuff. Just make up fake leaks.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. I bet they're just paying someone.
Fake leaks, the fake leaks. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.